And we are back on a Friday edition of the Phillies Fastball. Mike Gill, Jeff Kerr, Oscar Budejen. Happy weekend, everybody. Hopefully the Phillies offense will make us happier than it did on the West Coast trip, boys. Jeff, I know your Substack, you just had a little writing about things that you liked and didn't like out there. I want to talk a little bit about that. We anticipate lineup changes for the Phillies. We got a lot to dive into as the Phillies take on the Diamondbacks this weekend. Guys, happy Friday. Jeff, let's start with you on a couple of things that you did not like over the West Coast trip, and do we think there will be changes based on the things you didn't like?
Well, I think there are going to be changes, Mike, and I think it's going to be the number 5 hitter. And as I put out here, Philadelphia hit 167 from the number 5 spot. So whoever hit 5th, you hit 167 with 1 home run, 2 doubles, and an RBI. That's 4 for 24. Bryson Stott, 143 on the road trip, 372 OPS on the road trip. Not good. 481 OPS from the 5 spot. Just crunching the numbers here. There's going to be some changes to this lineup, and I think the number 5 spot's the one.
So, Oscar, do they have a number 5 hitter? Is there an option here?
Well, Brandon March is a no-brainer. I mean, I'm very surprised this has not happened in the beginning of the year. Brandon March has been one of the hottest hitters starting kind of, May of last year. I mean, he's one of the hottest hitters in all baseball. Why you have him down on the 7th hole is puzzling, particularly how we have started. That's one move, right? I mean, the other move is, are you willing to move Baum? I mean, Baum being in such a dry spell right now, I mean, should you move Garcia to the 4th spot? And then the other change he could make is move Schwarber to the leadoff. I mean, to me, those are the 3 changes that are possible on this lineup at this stage. I mean, I don't know if we're gonna be courageous enough to move Harper to the leadoff spot. I mean, some people have suggested that, but to me, number 1 is March being the 5th hitter. The next phase after that, if he's going to make a deeper change, would be Garcia for Baum, and then the last one would be potentially switching or flipping between Schwarber and Turner. Those would be, to me, the 3 options that are in this lineup.
You know, Bohm last year in April, in 28 games in April and March, he hit 221 with a 252 on base, 274 slug. In May, he hit 324. In June, he hit 301. July, 257. August, 283. And in September, Bohm hit 245. So he got off to a slow start again last year. I guess we give him the benefit of the doubt, and maybe he turned on. The problem with Bohm is, as we all know, no power. So if he slides down to the order, is that a better spot for him? We shall see. Obviously, you mentioned Marsh. Marsh got off to an awful start last year, but he has been pretty hot since. My question for you guys is this. Can a World Series champion have a number 5 hitter who's a platoon player?
I think it can. I mean, it's been done in the past. I mean, this is a really good platoon player. I think people make way too big of a deal of the platoons on this team between Bryson Stott and Brandon Marsh and then Mundo Sosa and Otto Kemp. I mean, really, the platoon worked last year. They slugged over 850 against and OPS over 850 against left. Like, they were a really good team against lefties with their platoons last year. What they need to do is get these guys to hit. Like, we know Brandon Marsh is going to hit. I think that is perfectly clear. We know Mundo Sosa is ultimately going to hit left-handed pitching. Otto Kemp is the one. Otto Kemp is the guy they banked on. And they can't have – what is Otto Kemp right now, guys? 2 for 12?
Yeah. Otto Kemp, by the way, has 7 strikeouts in 14 at-bats. I mean, he's really struggling
and there's
a
no
lot.
Excuse this year. Like, the knee's fine. The shoulder's fine. I think he gets to at least June or July because they're going to give him that chance, but – he's got a hit.
I think the challenge with Otto Kemp is playing time, Jeff. It's playing time.
Yeah, I agree with
guy,
you. Yeah.
If he's not going to hit, I mean, if he's going to hit once a week, I mean, there's no way. For example, I don't see any lefties in the horizon in terms of who we're going to be facing. So are we better off putting him 10 days in the minor leagues so he plays every single day and plays the outfield and be able to hit, and then bring in somebody like Brian De La Cruz? I mean,
this is where Mike is smart, too. I saw what Mike tweeted last night. You get rid of the Dylan Moore spot, bring up De La Cruz, then you have ways to play Kemp almost every day. See, I like that way of thinking. That's where I would agree with the whole let's bring De La Cruz up at the expense of someone else.
Right, because listen, one of the things is, Oscar, you've seen De La Cruz probably more than us, but he's a left fielder. He's an outfielder. Kemp is obviously not. Dylan Moore, there's no reason to have him start a game. You don't need him to play second base. You have Sosa is the right-handed guy on any day, and Kemp can play third. So you don't need to play Sosa at third just to get Moore a day at second. You play Kemp at third and play Sosa at second, and De La Cruz can be in left field. Then you have days where you can give Bohm a day off. You can give Harper a day off because Kemp can play the corner infielders. You don't need to create a day for Dylan Moore to get into the lineup. His bat is not why he's here. His bat is not why he's here. Kemp's bat is why he's here. So therefore, you got to find ways to get him in the lineup more. You don't need to find ways to get Moore into the lineup.
I mean, the other thing we need to think about. Go ahead, Jeff. You'll have, and I'll talk about the Brian De La Cruz.
Well, this is kind of why the whole Dylan Moore conundrum is too. Who's the backup catcher right now?
For the next maybe few days. Right, exactly. Yeah. So that I guess he's the emergency catcher if Marchand, and we don't expect Real Muto to be able to play tonight, but it sounds like they're not going to put him on the injured list, so he should be back in the next day or two, you would think.
I would assume, look, if they want to give JT tonight, that's fine. I assume he's going to be back for one of these day games, either Saturday or Sunday. Probably, if they really want to be cautious, Sunday, but I have a feeling JT Real Muto will want to play on Saturday.
Yeah, I think the other big question with Brian De La Cruz is who is Brian De La Cruz? Is Brian De La Cruz the one that played in the Dominican Winter Bowl and was the MVP and had a tremendous postseason? Has he found a way as he get older because he's a 697 OPS against lefties and a 698 against righty for his career. So it's not like he's going to turn the world on fire. The question is. Has Brian De La Cruz figured it out? And those are the type of things that the Phillies are looking at right now as they start evaluating what are the best course of actions moving forward.
Well, Brian De La Cruz, real quick for the people out there wondering, he is a guy, he's 28 years old now, but he has hit in the majors, 19 homers with Miami in 2023, 21 homers with Miami in Pittsburgh in 2024. So he has a little bit of pop from the right side. His on-base percentage in spring and so far at AAA has been outstanding. It seems that he's showing more patience at the plate. That has not been his big league career, though. He has not been an on-base guy, but he can play the outfield, something that Kemp is really struggling with.
And he has a high OPS, 862 OPS in AAA. I know it's AAA, but look, Otto Kemp had 900 OPS in AAA last year, so...
Yeah, and you guys could probably speak to this. I've said a lot on my show. You got to take AAA minor league numbers with a grain of salt. I don't know how much that translates to what you see at the big league level. You're seeing right now, look, Justin Crawford, quite frankly, he's struggling a little bit right now. He's almost under 200. Almost under 300. Now, that doesn't mean he's going to go down to 240. But on that West Coast trip, he struggled a little bit out in Colorado and San Francisco, and he tore up left-handed pitching at the AAA level. He tore up all pitching, and now he's struggling a little bit. Otto Kemp, he torched AAA pitching. He's having some struggles right now. So Brian De La Cruz coming up isn't filling your right-handed power. This is more to get a real left fielder out there, right?
Yeah, that's true. It's a combination of both. I think he brings you some pop as well. Based on the numbers you gave that he did at the Marlins. In the Dominican Republic Winter Bowl, he played 46 games. It's a very hard league. It's the best league outside. The best foreign league is the Dominican Republic. There are a lot of Major League Baseball players and pitchers that pitch in that league. 301, 372 on base percentage, 888 OPS. And as Jeff just said, in AAA, he's at 862 OPS. So maybe the guy has figured out after all these years, he's played 5 years in the majors. So hopefully he'll figure it out, and he could be. I believe he's going to be a contributor at some point this year. I
agree. Yeah, different from agree with you too. And Jeff, you could probably comment a little bit more on this as well. People were messaging me last night when I put that out. Why not give Felix Reyes a shot? He doesn't have major league experience.
You got the same problem with Otto Kemp.
Correct. And he doesn't have major league experience, although he's been fun to watch early here. He doesn't have the experience that De La Cruz has to play right off the bat. I saw this stat from Corey Seidman today. I'm sure you guys, through 12 games over the last 5 seasons, 2022, 251, 48 runs. 2023, 282 with 51 runs. 2024, 234 with 45 runs. Last year, 257 with 56 runs. They're down to 220 and have only scored 42 runs, a 307 on base, 351 slug, 658 OPS. So the question are, those numbers are dropping. Is it early and they'll get better, or is the sign saying, no, you guys are declining?
It's a tough question. I mean, it's a tough question to answer. I mean, to be perfectly honest, I do believe. Look, I go back to the baseball card in the back, and Schwarber is a monster, guys. I mean, and we know who Schwarber is. Schwarber is very up and down, but when that guy's up, I mean, there are very few in baseball that can hit like him. I mean, Schwarber let's not forget the home run he hit in Dodger Stadium. I mean, that went outside of the park. I mean, that guy's a hitter. He's going to get. Him and Harper and Turner are going to get it going. I think once they get it going, they could support the rest of the team. I just think they're in a bad stretch as we start the season.
Well, the question I asked yesterday, this is our Phillies Fastball segment. Of course, you can watch every single weekday and, of course, be a part of the show. Hit us up in the comments section. If you're watching, hit the repost button out there. Hit the like button. Jeff, I asked the question is, okay, what if these guys are still good, but they're slightly less good than they were a year ago? Like Schwarber hit 56, now he hits 48. Harper hit 270 with 27 homers. Well, now he's down to 262 with 25. He's still good, but what if he's not as good as he was only good? You know what I'm saying?
Mike, look at the numbers. This were the numbers last year. Look at the numbers, 4.8 runs. I mean, compared to 4.2 right now, we were 8th in baseballs in runs scored. We were fourth in OPS. And look at the OPS against lefty. We're 6th right now.
I was going to point that 29. Out. Look at that number.
Well, here's a number. Here's a number from our friend Tyler over at Phillies Tailgate. They're hitting 200 with runners in scoring position this season. That's 29th in baseball. Their runners in scoring position stats, we've been talking about it on Phillies Fastball here, guys. They are just getting opportunities, but they are not taking advantage. So does that turn around and eventually it pops?
By the way, Mike, they were hitting 173 with runners in scoring position on the road trip. 952 on base percentage of 290. I have a feeling that's going to balance out, and I think some home cooking is what they need. But
yeah,
you're
Giants,
not
by the way, they
games.
were 3 for 27 against the Giants, 6 for 25 against the Rockies, 5 for 26 against the Nationals, and 6 for 22 against the Rangers. So, yeah, it's been a rough
go. These are the numbers. I mean, they're a top 10. They're supposed to be a top 10 offense.
This is last year's numbers you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly, last year. But they're no, and even this year, I do believe this team has the potential to be a top 10 offense. I think
but we're looking at the numbers last year. One of the numbers, OPS with runners in scoring position last season, 775. That was 8th best in the league. I got to imagine they're in the bottom 5 in that category.
They are.
Now.
They are.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not hitting left-handed pitching. I mean, they're awful against left-handed pitching this year.
159 against left-handed pitching. That's last. 502 OPS, 29th in Major League Baseball. Like, look, and look, I even wrote about it yesterday. This was a good team against left-handed pitching, as these numbers are telling you. You would think that they're going to come up, right? But again, it has to come down to Edmundo Sosa and Otto Kemp and the big three. They got to hit.
No doubt about it, and they have struggled. Jeff obviously looks like a change in the number 5 spot. We'll see what ends up happening with that. And, there's not the problem is you're just reshuffling the chairs on the Titanic, it feels like. You're just saying, hey, I'll put this over here, and then we'll complain about that guy for a couple, because they just don't have anybody that profiles as a 4 and 5 hitter. Garcia, yes, but his best years are probably behind him.
Yeah, I mean, is it true? I don't think this is a Titanic, guys. I mean, we started off slowly. I do believe this team is going to heat up. I mean, Schwarber and Harper are, I was going to use the word elite, are elite hitters.
Oh, you can use elite, Oscar. We're all friends here.
I know. Our elite hitters, I mean, they're going to turn it around. There's no doubt in my mind. I mean, I expect Schwarber is going to end up the year with 45 to 50 home runs. I mean, you can count on it. And he has 3 so far. So, look, they're going to turn it around.
Yeah.
I don't think this is the Titanic yet. Look, let's assume they are off this year versus last year. Let's say they're a top 15 offense. I mean, with the elite pitching they have, I mean, you should make it up. I mean,
well, that's the basis of my, people are getting on me because I said they're going to win 98 games. That might be high for some. They won 96 last year, and I think they have better bullpen, and I think they have better pitching.
I did not think this was a 96-win team at this time last year. I thought they were going to be like, okay, 91, 92, and they ended up winning that. But by the way, I have to look at a positive here. Harper's numbers before this road trip and after this road trip. That's and I should have wrote like 3 things I like as this part of the 3 things I like. But look, all of a sudden he's up to 222 with a 749 OPS. Those numbers were not that when they went to Colorado.
Jeff,
it was 120. It was 120.
I read your Substack, and everybody should check out Jeff's Substack as well. If 3 things you like include Tim Mesa, this team's got problems.
Good problems or bad problems?
Well, I mean, Mesa's a nice story, but he's not going to be counted on to be a big-time high-leverage guy in that bullpen. If your 5th and 6th inning guy is one of your big stories for the first 2 weeks, I think that's probably indicative of the issue.
This is just from the road trip. This is just from the road trip. Yeah, he's had a good start to the season.
He has.
So that's how I looked at it. But yeah. By the way, I do like this. How soon can Wheeler be back and Walker be gone forever? Well,
yeah, this is
from a listener. Walker is not going anywhere, by the way.
Yeah.
Exactly.
One of our listeners,
Zach
Jeff,
Wheeler's got another rehab start coming. Yeah.
And after
Zach
that
Wheeler's
rehab, they're going to evaluate. I think the interesting part on Wheeler is, are they going to bring him pitching at 93, 92, 93 miles an hour, or they're going to wait a little bit? I mean, he needs to gain some weight. That's the other thing.
Because you have to April 30th, so he can get 2 more starts theoretically.
Yeah.
So,
well, do we have to watch? Does that mean we have to watch Walker for 2 more starts then? Is that the trade-off? Is that? By the way, Alan Rangel has been really good so far. I know some people looking at his numbers so far and say, no, they can't get rid of Walker. He makes $18 million for the last year of that deal. So he's going to be around no matter what. But we'll see when Wheeler ends up coming up. Let's
by
look
the way,
at
guys, Dante Nori, really hot start in Reading.
Yes.
Last night.
He hit 400 for the Italian team. 400.
Yes. Yeah. I know. Hey, listen, he seems like one of those guys that just hits. He was born to hit. He's a smaller guy, and he just hits, and he hits. He sprays the ball. He's a guy that I hope works his way.
He told me before the season, like when we were talking about WBC a bit, and he goes, you know what? I didn't realize I had that kind of power. He said, not that I'm going to be a power hitter, but I always thought my game was like more contact hitter, more. He goes, I realized I can go in the
Phillies
I can hit
need that, Jeff. The Phillies need that. They need guys to put the ball in play, hit the ball the other way. What we saw from him for Team Italy, Dante Nori, is what this team lacks. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say how the problem with Nori is he hits left-handed. Let's put that out there, right?
Yep.
That is a problem.
Left-handed. Honestly, the international prospect. I'm tracking.
You mean Renteria, Francisco Renteria?
Yeah, Francisco Renteria. I couldn't think of the last name.
He's righty.
He's a righty.
He's
so
righty.
There's something. I mean, look, if he projects like they think he's going to project in 3 years on Phillies fastball, we're going to be excited for his debut.
I met his parents at the World Baseball Classic. I was with them hanging out. I mean, look, that kid is going to be a superstar.
Yep.
He's like Ronald Acuna. I mean, just so you understand who we're talking about here. I mean, we are going to have probably a third hitter in the next 3 to 4 years with the Phillies.
Let's look ahead to the pitching and the matchups in this Arizona series. Obviously, you mentioned Soroka, who they signed this offseason. He has been very good early. Luzardo going for the Phillies. That is the pitching matchup tonight. So Luzardo, 11 strikeouts in his last outing. That'll be the pitching matchup for tonight's game. You've got Brandon Pfaadt versus Taijuan Walker on Saturday afternoon. And then a good one on Sunday afternoon, Zach Gallen against Andrew Painter. And they're saying Gallen looks like a changed man out there. He had an up-and-down season last year. And Andrew Painter, obviously, 2 starts, 1 good, 1 not so good. But Soroka, Oscar, this guy's been outstanding. Yes, he's been outstanding.
He's a changed man, too. I mean, the guy has a 0.9 ERA in 2 starts. He looks like the pitcher the Braves brought up as one of the best pitchers in all of baseball. I mean, I'm expecting big things from this guy. His numbers against the Phillies are okay, but he goes back way back. So he has like a 4 ERA against the Phillies in his career. I think he's 2-2 and a 4 ERA. It's going to be very, very interesting, guys. I mean, what we're going to see today is going to be hard for this bats if this guy continues to pitch his way. Go ahead, Jeff.
Hey, Oscar, on Saturday, you get any nightmares of Game 4 there of the NLCS?
No, I'm more worried about the right side of the equation than the left side.
You remember who they started over Taijuan Walker in that game?
Oh, mine. Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
It ended up working well for Christopher Sanchez, but that wasn't this Christopher Sanchez.
Yeah, for 2 innings,
he wasn't Christopher Sanchez yet.
Yeah,
he was getting there, but he wasn't there yet.
But well, obviously, this is a series where you're coming back home. And look, this is a, 9-game homestand here. This is going to be interesting. If they don't hit early in this series, boys, what ends up happening here? Do they continue to change things around? I mean, it'll be interesting to see what the crowd is like if they struggle along. How many innings tonight? Because remember, they're going to enter tonight with a 20-inning scoreless streak. So how many innings, if they don't score, that crowd lets them have it?
Well, bold prediction. They score in the first inning because that's just how baseball works.
Look, Soroka is he's pitched, 28 games against the Phillies, 12 starts and 12 relief pitching. Remember, he was with the Braves. He was a
long time.
A high regarded prospect. Then he went to Washington, and he's going around, and now he's with Arizona. With the Phillies in 28 games, he has 5.68 ERA with a 4-4 record. So just
Oscar, when Soroka came up, and I remember all the hype Strider got when he came up, I'm like, I don't know. I always thought Soroka was better, but I guess, mechanics and injuries had a lot to do with kind of him regressing toward the mean a bit. So I kind of like how he's kind of figured some things out, at least in the early going here.
Yeah. So,
well, by the way, guys, as bad as it's been for the Phillies in terms of offensively, they are 6-6. Let's take a look at the National League standings right now, where the Marlins are at the top of the pack. The Atlanta Braves, the New York Mets, they've got all sorts of problems going as well. And there's the Phillies at 6-6.
Look at this, Mike.
No one has separated themselves yet.
Well, the Mets are already playing with all sorts of issues there. They've had some bizarre stuff for them. The Marlins, though, the Marlins are a team that not a lot of people talked about being a factor in this race. Guys, can the Marlins stick around? Do they have the legs to stick around all summer long?
They did the second half of the year. They did the second half of last year. They played really, really well. Look, they're a team that is scary down the road. I still believe that they need one more season of cooking to get some of the guys in the minor leagues, but they got elite talent in the minor league system.
They do.
What are their
and as long as Alcantara's healthy, they're gonna have a shot.
Alcantara, yes, he seemingly is now back after, but one of the guys who's the key to their lineup, Kyle Stowers, Stowers has not played at all this year. And you see how many runs a game.
He was an absolute stud for them last year.
Exactly, and they're scoring 5.5 runs a game without him in their lineup. So the Marlins, interesting team to watch. My point with this is, it's not a fait accompli in the NL East. Last year, a lot of these teams the Braves had so many injuries. They were never in it. The Mets kind of fell apart in the second half. The Nationals and the Marlins, they weren't quite ready. The Phillies are going to have to they're going to be. It's going to be a much more competitive summer for them than it was a year ago.
It's going to be a fight this year. I truly believe that. Like you said, Michael, the Braves were never really in it. They got kind of back in it. They got the 500 and then they faded. The Mets really faded in the second half. I don't think the Mets are going to fade, and I know they got their problems. I still don't think the Mets are significantly better than they were last year, but they're going to be. I think the Braves have talent, and like you said, the Marlins can really be the disruptors here. They feel like the 0-1 Phillies to me. How long can you stay in the race? The 0-1 Phillies stayed in to pretty much the very end. Can the Marlins do that?
Yeah. All right. So just FYI, I just want a couple of things. I mean, right quick. Remember, the Mets have been playing without Soto, so that's one point. Just to clarify on Soroka, he's pitched 4 games against the Phillies. He has a 5.68 ERA and a record of 1-1. So just FYI. So
by the way,
he has not pitched well against the Phillies.
All 3 pitchers the Phillies will face this weekend, all right-handers, so you likely won't see Sosa Kemp and that crew for the weekend, at least in a starting capacity. One thing that's interesting, no JT Realmuto. Marshawn caught the other day, but the ABS, Marshawn had a tap of the hat, and he won his challenge. Let's take a look at the early stats on the ABS as the Phillies roll into this weekend because, hey, guys, this could be an important thing all season long, kind of keeping track of how good the Phillies do with this, because these could be the difference in games now as we're talking about.
Yeah, so the Phillies are doing really well. When you look at it, they're when they have their fielders, they won 82% of the challenges when the catcher or the pitcher calls so they won a total of 9, which makes them the 8-9 teams in baseball, but they have an 82%, which is, outside of the Tigers that are 91%, they are the top 2 teams in all of baseball in terms of winning percentage. In terms of hitting, significantly less, at 55%, but the average in MLB is 48%. So let do the catchers call the challenges.
Yeah.
We have an 82% success rate.
The
I know.
Phillies have some pretty good catchers. I think they should just allow them to handle this thing.
Yeah, Schwarber called one the other night. That was an obvious one. He got called out on another one. Justin Crawford hit the head. He was not even close. That was a bad challenge by him. The hitters are worse at it, definitely, than the catchers are. All right, big weekend at Citizens Bank Park. They come home for a 9-game homestand, and tonight it is Jesús Luzardo and Soroka for the Diamondbacks. Good stuff there. Phillies Fastball is back on Monday. You can get it on all social media platforms, and don't forget the Phillies Fastball is fantastic. Thank you, Jeff. We appreciate him watching the show.
We needed the PHs there instead of the Fs, but I like it.
We'll get a T-shirt with the PHs in there. Guys, have a good weekend. Phillies Fastball back on Monday, and we'll see what changes happen, and we'll be back to discuss it on Monday.
And Sunday we have Phillies Weekly at 8 p.m. We're going to have John Foley is going to be with us, and a couple of dear friends. Beat writers.
We have
Go ahead,
Corey
Jeff.
Nayo and Kyle Fisher from PSN on Sunday night.
That's awesome. So
Corey does a really good job with the minor leagues. So
Phillies Weekly,
8
p.m. on all social media platforms right here. All right, boys, have a good weekend.
Wonderful. Take care, guys. God bless.
Thank you.